The Joint International Election Observation Mission, National Democratic Institute and International Republican Institute have released their final report on the 2023 general election. The report includes key findings on pre-election, election day, and post-election periods. The observers listed logistics, technology, political violence, instances of vote manipulation, and communication failures by INEC as some factors that marred the electoral process and disenfranchised voters. They added that the elections also saw the lowest turnout for a national contest in Nigeria's modern democratic history, with only 27% of registered voters participating.
Arise analyst Dayo Sobowale joins us now to discuss this final report and what improvements are necessary to make future elections less controversial. It's good to have you on the show today, Mr. Sobowale. So let's go straight into it now. We're seeing a lot of implications from this particular report and how it, of course, on the back end affects the overall integrity and credibility of the election process. So I want to know what your thoughts are on this report to begin with.
The report by the two bodies, one Democratic and one Republican, is like a forensic analysis of our political system, the political actors, the quality of political participation, and the attendant violent language and conduct that accompany it. I know there are cases in court, so I will sidestep those cases and look at the recommendations they made, and I will add my own.
Okay.
Most importantly, they condemn the rhetoric of campaign before election and after. And you too, you will acknowledge the way we talk at each other is as if we are at war. To me, that may be because of our political DNA. You know, somebody said Nigeria is a mere geographical expression that you are brought together by the colonialists in 1914, especially when Lord Lugard got excited and merged the North and South administratively. And we have been trying to cohabit with each other since then. But at election time, the rhetoric gets very violent, very bitter, and virulent, just as we are seeing now. We need to do something about that. These people, they have recommended that we should establish a post-election body to probe and prosecute those found to be responsible for electoral fraud, for whatever rigging transpired, and those who spread false inflammatory speeches. I think that is key, and that is even still ongoing. Read the papers. The election has come and gone, but you see false news, and nobody does anything to anybody. It doesn't happen. Even in the US, they have technology. They have a way of monitoring hate speech and things like that. We are having a field day here, and it is tearing to the fabric of our coexistence as Nigerians and as a nation. You see, they call a body of investigation, forensic analysis. Well, they use it to ascertain DNAs in people. I think politically, we need to set up a commission to monitor what divides us and what unites us. It's not a matter of federal character, because even federal character, that one unleashes some hatred and resentment and discrimination. But we need to find out, establish a body, that is my own addition now, to find out about our political DNA and what makes us come together and what makes us go at each other's throat at election time. You might as well not have our elections the way I see it.
I really like that suggestion. But I'm wondering, yes. I know you're saying the commission needs to be established to have actual
post-election violence, and then hate speech and cultural differences, cultural friction.
Well, if you could speculate just on what you've observed so far, what would you say has contributed to that
I was trying to do an analysis now. I said maybe we are, because of the way we were brought together, that Nigeria is a mere geographical expression. Maybe our DNA, we are not really the same family. I was discussing with some people the other time. You say, if you say, okay, like people like Obasanjo say you should be a Nigerian force, you should be detribalized. But then I was taught in political science at IFE that you need to have love for your family, which you can transfer to your tribe, and it is that you can transcribe to an amorphous body called Nigeria. So we need to go through these processes again, because it's making a mockery of our democracy. If we say democracy will bring us equity and justice and fairness, it shouldn't be at the expense of our lives when we go to vote and we don't accept the result, then we get violent with each other and promote animosity. It is not on. It is undemocratic. We have to do something about that.
Definitely.
And we don't need outsiders to tell us that. Although I'm grateful for what they have done. They have just done the forensic analysis and are literally telling us that there's a question mark on our DNA as a united nation.
Still, keeping it in line with this forensic analysis, besides the post, committee of trying to look into, ethnic division and, false news and all of that, it's also urging for a call for independent, citizen-led and a comprehensive review of the entire electoral process. Is that something that you agree, you agree with, especially in regards to?
No, you are asking an informal body. How is that possible?
Because
civil society organizations now. You see, I have my bias against them because invariably they never say anything good about us. You get me? They put foreign standards. You see, they are killing our soldiers in the battlefront. They will say our soldiers are even killing those who are killing them. You see, in exercise of human rights, your freedom should end where my own nose begins. If somebody is fighting me and I'm trying to defend myself, you should allow me some latitude to defend myself before saying that the method I'm using to defend myself is not okay. Which is what civil liberties, human rights. Yes, I respect human rights. And I think to a large extent, we do that here in Nigeria. Otherwise, we won't be here. If you go to places where they don't respect human rights, they won't be talking like this. But then, see, outsiders must just not come and talk to us out of context without understanding our own cultural attributes and the context in which we operate. I appreciate what these two American bodies have done. They've been here for a year. You get me? So they are talking about what they have seen and what they have heard. But I won't go far to make a judgment because cases are in court. You get me?
But if you talk about low-hanging fruits, for example, logistical failures is a word that kept coming up in that report. Just basic things
logistics, communication,
exactly,
and technological. But we know the technological is in the court. Uploading the result and all that. I don't want to comment on that. The logistics, I can comment on the logistics. You see, on the eve of the election, we all saw it here now. A day before election, you see some planes bringing voting materials to maybe a state capital, when you know that they are still going 100 kilometers, 120. We mentioned it here there. How could they? They didn't plan well. INEC will do some simulation strategic tests, like lawyers do mock trial. So I should get prepared. Like footballers practice, have a strategy. You study your opponent. They never prepared for that. I've said it here before that there was some complacency, there was some arrogance that it's just like they knew the route and they were going to have a field day. But obviously they got marooned.
Yeah.
They couldn't find their way logistically, technologically, and communication-wise.
Well said.
So that is why this report came out.
Very well said, Mr. Sobowale. And indeed, I hope INEC is listening and will do a lot better. Thank you so much, Horizons analyst Mr. Dayo Sobowale.